Ladies and gentlemen, well, we are back. we are back. We're back. Fantasy is back. The teams have been drafted. We are 100,000% all the way back. It is actually confirmed. Okay, all right. Maybe we're not officially back until Thursday Night Football. But no. We totally are back. We're totally back. The teams are drafted. Once the teams are drafted, you're back. So we had our draft last night, and it was great. We had everyone on the FaceTime or Zoom call. Got to chat with everyone. It was great. Got to talk about football, soccer. What else did we talk about? Game of Thrones. Set in some awkward silences. I was giving it to Connor. I called him a beta cuck like twice, I think. So, gotta shout out my boy Connor. I'm sorry, didn't mean it completely. Aiden came with fists ablazing in his suit. It was brilliant. It was a brilliant night. So, now it's time to debrief. Let's debrief after the draft and see what everyone has to say. Oh, Tristan's here too. Okay, we're on the pod, Tristan. We just started live.
Oh.
Matthew is going to give us a couple responses so far. So, Matthew, I don't know if you've seen the draft rankings by Zach yet, but he's got you at number 2. How do you feel about that?
Wow, really? I feel good about that. Honestly, that's not bulletin board material. I would rather be 9, like ESPN ranking.
Right.
Two's high. I would put myself at probably like 4 or 5. I don't know.
I responded to your reply to my message board post.
Oh yeah, rank them. Yeah.
And I ranked you 4. I gave you 4 as well. I mean, I thought you had a great draft, but I think there is a couple other teams that did a little better.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so you just got to talk about it real quick. Christian McCaffrey, are you happy? Like one day after, what are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I was at number 5 for those of you that don't know, and
yeah,
I'm totally happy with getting McCaffrey there. I think maybe this is just like based on this year, and I'm being a total hypocrite, but like. Don't project injuries into your, where you draft players. That's dumb. McCaffrey's going to be the best running back in the league, so.
All right. I love it. All right, we'll get you one more. I love that Rashad Penny pick. Oh, my God. I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, holy crap, that was a great pick. You got him in round 8, I think?
Yeah.
Well, how are you feeling about Rashad Penny? Obviously, you think he's going to do bits, right?
Yeah, I mean, starter week 1, and we'll see how it goes. I think, yeah, he could definitely help out the team as a starter.
Yeah.
He's not riding the bench.
Yeah, right on.
At least for now. We'll see.
For sure. All right, last one. Who's a player that, besides Christian McCaffrey and Rashad Penny, that's just got you excited on your team?
Mike Williams.
Yeah. That was good. I like that pick a lot too.
Yeah, I didn't know how far he'd fall. I was happy with where I took him.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I could have got him the next round. I'm not sure. But
you ended up with him in round 4.
A lot of the other wide receivers that were going at the same time.
Yeah.
I would have picked him over everyone that went the same round as him, except maybe Pittman, I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. I respect that. I picked Keenan Allen a little bit before you, and after I did that, I was just like, I should have taken Mike Williams. What the hell was that pick? So, yeah, no, I love that pick where you got him.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, well, I'll let you get back to your workout.
Yeah, I got to hop off.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, talk to you. Yeah, thank you. Talk to you soon.
All right, see you guys later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that was Matthew. I'm hoping as time goes on, I'll be able to get a couple more boys to trickle in. I'm going to FaceTime the group right now and just sit in this FaceTime, wait for people to join up. So, in the meantime, I'll just briefly go over Zach's rankings. So you've got it locked down. So his rankings are number 1, Luke, number 2, Matthew, number 3, Matt, number 4, Aaron, number 5, Tristan, 6, Connor, 7, Zach, 8, Alex, 9, me, and 10, Aiden. And so I don't think he's entirely wrong. I would adjust it a little bit. And I did. I gave my rankings. And let me pull that up for you real quick. I gave my rankings as number 1, Aaron, number 2, Zach, number 3, Matt, number 4, Matthew, number 5, Luke, number 6, Alex, 7, me, 8, Aiden, 9, Tristan, 10, Connor. So we'll go back to Zach since he's our annual draft analysis rankings provider. He's the one that he does that for us, and I always appreciate it. I always love reading his rankings. He does such a good job with them. So at number 1, he cites Debo and AJ having a lot of potential, and the only weak link being Antonio Gibson. And just briefly, Luke's team is Patrick Mahomes at QB, RB1 Devin Cook, RB2 Travis Etienne, wide receiver 1 Debo Samuel, wide receiver 2 AJ Brown, tight end Kyle Pitts, flex Antonio Gibson, defense 49ers, kicker Nick Folk, which don't really matter as much. And Debo and AJ do have a lot of potential, no doubt. But I had the opportunity to pick both. And I'll tell you why I didn't pick them. AJ Brown was originally part of the plan. But I got convinced by some TikToks that I saw. One of them saying, first off, the Eagles wide receiving core is pretty stacked. And I was like, what? But then I didn't do research, but I looked into it. And I mean, he's not that wrong, but he is kind of wrong. AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, and Kez Watkins are listed on their depth chart. So AJ Brown is obviously wide receiver number 1 on their team. But I forget there's it sounds a lot better, but the TikTok just was really convincing. That's where I'll go with that. The TikTok was really convincing, and I think the main point was the Philadelphia Eagles are one of the most run heavy teams, and so he's on a run heavy team, and he's splitting catches with Devonta Smith, and then Jalen Hurts is great, but I think I kind of recall them saying he's a bit of a wild card. So I just remember that was the TikTok that kind of made me lose faith. And then there was another TikTok that I just saw. I forget. But it was 2 TikToks that made me not like AJ Brown. And he was part of the plan for me. Like I said, he was part of the plan, but I scrapped that part of the plan and I took a different player. I don't want to admit who I took because I don't like that pick. I wouldn't have picked AJ Brown, but I would have picked someone else. And then I had the opportunity to take Debo Samuel, and I took Stephon Diggs instead. And the reason I chose Stephon Diggs over Debo Samuel was, one, I'm kind of buying into the curse of when wide receivers get paid. When they get that bag, they drop off. So that kind of made me nervous. That can't make me nervous. And then 2, if Trey Lance is his quarterback, I just don't have faith in him. So I'll provide my own counterpoint to my point. First off, Debo is used pretty versatile, pretty widely across the field. He's basically running back and wide receiver at the same time. And also, the throws that you have to make to Debo aren't that hard. They're not deep long balls. They're not crazy. You just have to get it to him, and then the plays are set up so that you get it to him, and then he makes the play. So I've kind of argued my way back that why Debo and AJ are probably pretty good picks. But for me, AJ Brown, I let that TikTok convince me otherwise. Debo Samuel, I had him on my team last year, and I'm not going to ignore the great work that he did for me. But with Trey Lance as your starting quarterback, I don't have a lot of faith. That being said, I still think Luke has a very good team. I ranked him 6, which is maybe a little bit harsh, but I don't know. Dalvin Cook, the offense is moving away from run heavy. Travis Etienne, he's not really proven. We saw James Robinson do bits, but we don't know what Travis Etienne is capable of. So I'm just not convinced by him. That being said, I did want to pick him. Well, I wanted Damian Harris, which might sound stupid, but I did want Damian Harris. And then I love Kyle Pitts at tight end. And then Antonio Gibson is like a projected score machine. ESPN loves projecting him to get high score. But after last year, after having to suffer with him for that first half of the season, it was miserable. It was not worth hanging around for him. But to be honest, I'm looking at his numbers, and they're really not that bad. 16, 13, 19 in week 3, 4, 5. But then he goes on a streak here of 4 weeks in a row where he's a bum. Yeah, I could totally be wrong about Antonio Gibson. But the Commanders are the Commanders. So anyways, that was a bit more of a deep dive than I wanted to go into. Zach then has Matthew at number 2, and he cites Kyler Murray as a high point. And I think Kyler Murray is a bit of a head case. So I think there's cracks there. But, okay, I also want to make it known, you can find cracks in literally every player. Like, there's not going to be one flawless player. Maybe Jonathan Taylor. He might be the only flawless player. Okay, and then Zach goes on to cite Chubb and CMC. So, but in Zach's own argument, he said, if CMC's leg doesn't spontaneously combust, I like the direction of this team. That's a big if, because CMC is made of glass. But like we just had on Matthew, if you don't account for injury, if you don't let that hamper your view, then yeah, Matthew's team is dope. All right, Matt. He puts Matt at number 3. Doesn't cite anyone really, but I agree. I think if you just take a look at Matt's team, which I can briefly go over real quick, try not to get too deep of a dive. Aaron Rodgers is fine, but that's Matt's guy. Matt's always had Aaron Rodgers on his team. Running back 1, Derrick Henry. Running back 2, Leonard Fournette. Great running back pairing. Marquise Brown and Jerry Jeudy. Not a big fan of Marquise Brown, but I do think Jerry Jeudy's a very sneaky pick. I heard a lot of bad things about Jerry Jeudy, like dropping balls and all that stuff last year. But now with Russ tossing balls to him, he could be very good. And then I also heard this interview of the new Denver head coach, and I was like, damn it. I like this guy. I want to root for the Broncos. I want to get a player from the Broncos on my fantasy team, Nathaniel Hackett. He had a great interview on Part of My Take. So I am a little bit biased towards Denver players right now. Mark Andrews at tight end. That's another one of Matt's classics. I think Matt brought back half his team. He definitely had Leonard Fournette last year. He had Aaron Rodgers last year. He had Mark Andrews last year. It's not half, but he brought back 3 key pieces of his team last year, which I love. I love bringing back players. And then at flex, he's got Gabe Davis. And honestly, I love that. I love that pick. Gabe Davis totally showed up at the end of last season. And I think there's no reason he can't do that again. So we'll go back to the rankings. Zach had Aaron at number 4. I had Aaron at number 1. Aaron's just got a sick team. I'll just list the players for you real quick. Josh Allen, Austin Eckler, Javonte Williams, CeeDee Lamb, Deontay Johnson, Dawson Knox, A.J. Dillon, and then on the bench, Jalen Waddle and Kenneth Walker and Kadarius Toney are probably some big names that I'd point out. Dogs. All of them. I mean, he's just got such a good team. We'll see how it turns out, but looking at this team is like Josh Allen. Okay, Aaron, I need Aaron on the podcast because I was texting Aaron. We were talking about picks and blah 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 and blah blah blah. And Aaron, maybe I'm misconstrued, but I swear Aaron just kept going, I'm not picking Josh Allen. I'm not planning on picking Josh Allen. And then what does he do? He goes out and takes Josh Allen round 4, 37th overall. So maybe something got lost in translation, but I thought Aaron wasn't picking Josh Allen. I don't know why he wasn't going to. Like, obviously you should always pick Josh Allen. But he kept saying he wasn't, and then he ended up doing it. So that was a big turning point of the night last night for me. But just what a great team. Josh Allen and Austin Eckler as the two first names on your team. That's sick. And then Javonte Williams. CeeDee Lamb is like the number one wide receiver in Dallas. Is probably going to be amazing. Gosh, what a team. What a team. He did such a good job. And then A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon was one of Aaron's guys from last year. And A.J. Dillon is he can do some damage. He can do some major damage. Like he ended at the season last year at 9 points, 24.5, 9.7, 15.0, 7.1, 9.5, 5.6 off game. And then here we go. We've got our first taker. Zach Jennings. Is that you?
That's me.
You're on the pod.
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah, you're on the pod. So let me get this going. 1 second. Give me a sec.
Okay, yeah.
All right, Zach Jennings in studio. We got Zach Jennings in studio. We're live. Podcast's been running for about 20 minutes now. I just did a brief intro. I said that we had our draft. I said we're back. Then Matthew came on, and I got to ask him a couple questions, but he was lifting, so he couldn't stay for long. But I broke to him your ranking of him.
What did Matthews think of my ranking?
He thought it was too generous.
Really?
He liked to be ranked number 2. Who wouldn't want to be ranked number 2? But he was saying he wanted a little bit more bulletin board material, and that he personally would rank himself 4 or 5.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I respect the honesty coming from him.
Yeah.
I know, honestly, I wish I ranked myself higher. So.
Yeah. So I was just walking through them. So I already gave the draft rankings, and then I was going back and doing just a little analysis of your analysis. So I just finished with Aaron, and I was about to move on to Tristan at number 5. And really, I'm just pointing out the players that you point out and saying if I agree with that or not. So Tristan, you kind of point out DeAndre Swift and Joe Mixon, and DeAndre Hopkins. And I got to say, I feel like I'm not that confident in DeAndre Swift. Just because I think it's purely because he's a Lions player.
And you know what? That's absolutely fair. I have the same thing. I have a hard time trusting the Lions players.
Yeah.
Especially with Jamal Williams, being number 2.
Right, yeah, such a character. And then I think Tristan might be a bit of a curse for Joe Mixon.
Curse in what way?
Tristan's drafted him like multiple times.
Yes.
And then the one year he didn't draft him, it was Joe Mixon's best year.
Oh, you're saying it's his fault.
Yeah, so I think Tristan might be cursing Joe Mixon, and I think it might happen again.
You know what? I absolutely can see it happening again. That's also why I put him at 5. If
You're
Joe
right.
Mixon plays what he plays last year, Tristan can go to 3, 4,
Sure.
or 1. But
Yeah.
So Mixon has a history of letting the fans down.
Yeah. All right, so then we've got Connor at number 6. You point out Singletary is probably going to be limited. You say that Cam Akers is coming off a huge injury, but I want to cite back to you. Austin Eckler came off a huge injury last season, and you took him.
Did I take him last season?
I don't know if you took him in the Justice League, but you had him in one of our leagues. So what do you how do you grade a huge injury, and what made Austin Eckler such a prized possession where Cam Akers comes up short?
I mean, I hate to be this guy. I'm not a huge Cam Akers guy. I'm a big Austin Eckler guy.
All right,
think
I mean that's fair. If
I
you
think I
you
said
just don't see that dog in him, I see that dog in Cam Akers, but you don't see that dog.
I would love to be proven wrong with Cam
Yeah.
Akers. I think he's a great guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Um, I like him as a person, but as a fantasy player, I don't see him getting the job done.
All right. All right. All right. I did.
Oh, can I ask you a real quick question?
Oh, of course.
What did you think of my rankings?
All right, so we'll get to that. So just before we
Okay.
go, Zach, you were at number 7. Alex was at number 8. You put me at number 9. You cite Elijah Mitchell not doing well and J.K. Dobbins worrying you. And then lastly, you put Aiden, which I pretty much agree with. So to kind of answer your question, but in a different sense, and I've already told the listeners this, but I don't know if you saw this, but in the message boards, I put my gut reaction looking at everyone's starting lineup.
Was this today?
This was last night. It was literally
last
like,
night.
all right, just gut reaction. Because I hadn't seen all the teams yet. I'd seen my team. I wasn't focused on everyone else's draft really. I was mainly looking at my draft. And so I was like, shoot, you know what? I haven't seen everyone's team. Let me just go through, give a gut reaction. So I put in the message boards just my gut reaction to everyone's starting lineup. Not your full draft, just the players that were located in your starting lineup, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I posted
I
that.
see it. Okay.
And then Matthew responded with rank them. And so I gladly followed that up. And this is my rankings. I said Aaron number 1, you at number 2, 3 Matt, 4 Matthew, 5 Luke, 6 Alex, 7 me, 8 Aiden, 9 Tristan, and 10 Connor. So we pretty much only agreed on Aiden and Connor. And yeah, Aiden and Connor, and then Matt. We agreed on Matt.
Okay.
So I don't. I mean, okay. Want to put this out there? I love your rankings always, and I love the work that you do with them. But I guess my response would be, I think you might have been a bit off this year.
All right. I have been known to cling on to the past with players, as you and I have talked about before.
Yeah.
I could just be out of my element,
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, Derrick Henry, I still believe in that guy 1,000%. Without a doubt in my mind, I think he's still the guy.
Yeah.
I know you don't think that way. So it could just be, I mean, this season will definitely give me a big wake-up call. If my rankings are just way off, like let's say Connor and Aiden is in the championship game,
Mm-hmm.
I might have to do some soul searching and figure out.
Well, no, I think you got it right with Connor and Aiden. I think they kind of missed.
Like I don't want to roast Connor. I was gonna put him lower originally, but I was looking back to last year and the great games he played.
He did. He did have some great games last year, no doubt.
So I bumped him up one extra spot because I figured, or 1 or 2 extra spots because I figured, Connor's gonna pull that somewhere again.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about you as a fantasy manager. Tom Brady as your starting quarterback. I'm gonna roast you right here. I think that's a horrible pick. I don't know why you made that pick.
So can I ask why you think it's bad?
Yeah, he's got like zero mobility.
Okay, his position rank last year was 3.
What? No, he wasn't. Really?
Click on his little number.
Was that last year or is that this year?
Last year he had 374 points.
I mean, I guess I'm a doubter, but I just don't see it happening again.
I mean, it could also be I'm stuck in my old player ways.
Yeah. All right. Okay. You know what? Looking at it, he had a great start to the season, but after that bye week, it just looks like he was very boom bust. Like he goes 13, 19, 11, 28, 30, then 4, then 14 points.
And I will say his mind does seem a little sporadic. As we all know, he was on The Masked Singer.
Yeah.
There was that whole incident.
Yeah.
So, I'm not. I think he's a perfectly fine starter. I'm not in love with the idea of Tom Brady.
Okay.
But
Would you have chosen someone else? Because you took him pretty, quote unquote, early. You took him in the 8th round.
Yes, I was. Hang on. I think, was it Matthew? Who's Matthew's quarterback? Okay, it wasn't Matthew. There was a person who took a quarterback 1 or 2 picks before I wanted to take him. I can't remember who.
It was a quarterback that had been taken off the board before you.
Yes.
And you wanted it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember who it was. Actually, it might have been Lamar.
Was it Dak Prescott in round 7? Because that would be the most recent quarterback to your quarterback pick. Or that'd be the closest.
No, it was absolutely not Dak. I'm never drafting Dak or Zeke again.
So the list of quarterbacks is Josh Allen by Aaron. Then it went Justin Herbert by Connor. Then it went Jalen Hurts by Tristan. Then me with Lamar Jackson. Then Patrick Mahomes to Luke. Then Kyler Murray snatched up by Matthew. Then Dak Prescott by Aiden. And then you picked Tom Brady. So the quarterbacks still available after you: Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson.
Okay. My thing is,
Tua.
I think I wanted to take Lamar, and then you took him, and I was like, well, I'm just going to wait for a quarterback at this point.
Oh, okay.
I think that was my thought.
Okay. Alrighty. So you went from the most mobile quarterback to the least mobile quarterback.
That is correct, yes. When you put it like that, it makes me seem kind of silly, don't it?
Okay. Najee Harris, Saquon Barkley, great running back group. I pointed this out in my rankings. The fact that you have Najee, Saquon, and then waiting in your flex to inevitably take over for Saquon is David Montgomery. I think you played that beautifully. I don't think you could play that any better. That running back group will play perfectly for you.
Thank you. I hope you're right, because I honestly am not. I think that's the weakest part of my team.
So you think your wide receivers are your strongest point then? Is that what you mean?
So okay. I have a couple of issues with three. In my rankings, I said there were 3 players who I wasn't really high on.
Yeah.
That was Saquon,
Yep.
DJ Moore, and David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Saquon is made of glass. I don't know if he's gonna pan out the way I want him to pan out.
Right.
DJ Moore, I just got super hyped on Baker. I like Baker.
No, I agree completely. Like I do like that DJ Moore pick. I think that was a great pick. I got super hyped on Baker too. Maybe you took him a little early, but I completely agree. Baker gets me hyped.
Thank you. And then David Montgomery, I don't know, man. The Bears are like the worst team on paper, in my opinion.
No, I don't disagree.
I'm just worried that they're just going to be absolute doo-doo, and Dave Montgomery is not going to be able to do anything. But at the same time, Justin Fields has 0 wide receivers. So I don't know.
So, but I guess I'm thinking maybe, and this is maybe my blind side too, is I compare I think that everything from last year is going to carry over, and I just think David Montgomery had a really great year last year, and so I'm just thinking why won't that carry over? What changed about the Bears? Didn't they just hire a new offensive coordinator?
Well, they hired a new everything, I think.
Yeah, so I feel like that should give you, if anything, that should give you gusto to. Oh no, he's the same.
Rookie coaches always make me a little nervous, or first year coaches.
Oh, who's their first year coach?
They have a new head coach. I don't know who.
Oh, who's their new head coach?
Hang on.
Matt Eberflus.
Yeah, to be honest, never heard of this guy before. I don't know if he's any. Was he on the Colts?
Is he gonna be calling plays though?
I don't know.
Anyways, I like your David Montgomery.
I don't know. I don't know. There's just a giant question mark around him.
I just really like your team, Zach. I really, really like your team. I mean, I know I roasted Tom Brady at the beginning, but I mean, he's obviously a really solid player. And then Najee and Saquon. Yeah, Saquon probably won't pan out for you, but like I said, you've got David Montgomery waiting in that flex spot just to take over. And then Devontae Adams, dog. DJ Moore, dog. Darren Waller, dog. Even Harrison Butker, I would slap the dog label on. And then you got
Really?
Chris Godwin sitting your bench. I mean, come on. That's a team and a half right there.
To be honest with you, I was super hyped about the Cordell Patterson pick more than anything else. I'm telling
Really?
you, I have a disease where I only trust old players.
Well, he is kind of getting an upgrade. Oh, he's 31 years old? Jesus.
Yeah, he's old.
All right, he's a bit old.
This is what I'm saying, man. This could potentially be my downfall. I appreciate you saying the kind words, but I don't know. I'm not in love with it.
Yeah. All right, so real quick, if you could... No.
I did a draft in a different league today.
Yeah.
And I like that.
How many leagues are you in, mate?
A lot.
Yeah, because you drafted. You were in a draft when you joined our draft, right?
Yeah.
And then you drafted last night, and then we've got the Jennings Family League tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
brother.
I might have joined my roommate's fantasy league.
Oh my
I might have been 8 leagues this year.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And like most of them are for money too, and I can't keep
Oh my
track of
gosh. How do you root for anyone? You're rooting against yourself.
Dude, I was thinking about that when I was drafting people. Like, oh wait, I'm in this league. I was like, that guy's on Johnny's team, so I just drafted. I was like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a tough year for me, but I'm hoping I win at least one league. So
Yeah.
I some money.
There you go. So breaking news: ESPN likes whatever you're cooking because they just promoted you to 6th place and they demoted Aaron to 7th.
Really?
Yeah.
What did we do?
I
What did
don't know. I don't know. Something happened and ESPN is now enjoying you.
Huh. Well, Aaron, screw you, man.
Yeah, take that, Aaron.
Take that.
No, I am in love with Aaron's team. When you got on, that's what I was doing. I was just obsessing over Aaron's team.
Let's talk about Aaron's team, man. I would love to talk about his team.
It all starts with Josh Allen, dude. I mean, come on. I love Josh Allen.
I put Aaron 4th, right?
Yes. Yep, you put him 4th.
Okay. I mean, the only thing is A.J. Dillon at the flex, the backup running back for Green Bay.
I don't even think that's a thing. I think A.J. Dillon's going to kill it.
Really?
Yeah, because listen, like, oh my God, this is my fatal flaw too. Literally, I'm like, my argument is he finished last season so well. And that's my fatal flaw is I look at everyone, how they finished last season, and I just think that's automatically going to carry over. So maybe that's flawed. Connor, welcome. You are on the podcast.
Oh, nice. Good timing.
So we were just falling in love with Aaron's team, but since you joined, let's take a look at your team real quick. Zach ranked you 7th, and I just want your immediate reaction to getting ranked 7th.
I think that's fair. I'm not really in love with my team either, so I won't roast him for that.
Thanks, man.
So I gotta ask about.
Do better than 7th though. I mean 7th.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I put you at 7th, but you had some games last year where you were scary. And I know that 1 or 2 of those are going to happen again this year. So
if like Herbert has like a cute if he has the most points from a quarterback, that would help.
Yeah.
My running backs really suck. So.
Hey, I like Cam Akers.
I don't like Cam Akers.
I don't know why you're such a big hater.
I don't like Singletary more. That's
okay. Well, yeah, no offense, but I hate Singletary as well. I think that was sketchy. I think that was a sketchy pick.
That's fair.
And kind of no offense, but Miles Sanders is like out of all the 32 starting running backs, he's my least favorite one.
That's fair, also.
But besides that, you've got Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin.
Cam Akers could be a disaster.
Who?
Cam Akers could be like a disaster.
No. Don't say that. He's going to do well. Connor, I believe in Cam Akers. I think he'll do well.
But the wide receiver core you have, Connor, is fantastic. I like Dalton Schultz. I don't like Scary Terry too much because I had him on my team last year and he didn't perform as much as to be fair, I had high expectations for him.
And he's got a new QB, doesn't he?
He's got Carson Wentz now.
Yeah. There you go.
So maybe he'll be better. Maybe I'm just hating on him too much.
We'll see.
I think the most important thing is you've got good players from good offenses. Justin Herbert, Cam Akers, Devin Singletary, Jamar Chase, Alan Lazard, Raheem Mostert. You got the play. You got Tuanon sitting on your bench just in case.
I know.
I think you're covered. I think your team is gonna be all right. It's gonna be just fine.
We'll see. I'm not in love with it. The running back situation is just tough.
Well, that's what waiver wire pickups are for. So when Christian McCaffrey gets injured, just pick Chuba Hubbard and you'll be chilling.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to do that. Last year I didn't do a lot of like waiver pickups, but I think this year I'm gonna have to live on the waiver wire.
That's how I like to play. So I got no complaints, except I'll be competing against you.
That's another issue I think I have. I get too attached to my original 9 starters.
Yeah.
And then when I pick up a new player, I'm like, I don't want to bench my guy.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way.
Not Zach Ertz. That's against the blue right there.
He's the man. He's gonna win it all for me. Matt. So just one thing I noticed is Matt was a very I don't know what you call it, but just he picked all of his guys. Like he picked Rodgers back up on the team. He got Leonard Fournette back on the team. He got Mark Andrews back on the team. He got his guy Matt Gay. He just went out there and picked the guys that he sticks with.
He just has boys.
He just has the boys, yeah.
Huh? Do you think that's give me a negative impact for him?
No, I love it. I love the way that he made his picks. Because I wish I could bring the band back together, but I went completely new band. My band is all new keyboardist, new pianist. That's the same thing. New guitarist, new lead singer.
But you got last place, or second to last place.
Right, but I mean, come on, if you stick with your guys, they're gonna stick with you.
I had Derrick Henry last year. If I had Derrick Henry again.
Yeah, exactly. Derrick Henry. He's going to lead the team. So anyways, it was a good draft. I thought it was a good draft. We had all 10 guys on the pod. Or, on the FaceTime. That was fun.
Yeah, that was nice.
Mm-hmm. Alex coming back. That was fantastic.
Yeah, Alex making the grand comeback. That was sick. All right. Well, I'll just get a couple more questions in here. So first to Zach as a manager, what are you gonna do to inspire your boys? This is your first season in the Dwight Army of Champions. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to the players?
First season? Holy shit!
It's been a long time coming. I'm gonna say that. As a manager, you want what's best for your players, and I thought I've made some great teams over the past couple of years. Last season, we really proved that we have what it takes to be here.
Absolutely.
And I hope that'll motivate my guys to really show out every Sunday night, every Thursday night,
Mm-hmm.
every Monday night.
I love it. So, who needs the most motivation on your team?
Great question. Right now it's between Darren Waller and DJ Moore. I have never had these guys on my fantasy team in any league, so they are uncharted territory for me. But I drafted them for a reason. I know they'll be able to get the job done, and I'm excited to see what they can do in the upcoming season. You
were, I want to say 0-4 last year against me in the rivalry. What are you gonna do to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Well, that was just unbelievable. Terrible circumstances. When you lose to your rival that many times in one season, it really does something to you. I have taken a lot of precautions this year to ensure that we have the best chance of not only winning games, but winning all of the games. So however many times we're facing this year.
We'll be facing twice in the Justice League.
How many times?
2 times.
2 times. I will say you got to bring your A game both those times.
All right, I'll see you in week 4, mate. I'll see you in week 4.
Week 4 it is.
All right, Connor, and then to you, you had a smashing season last year, winning 11 games. How are you? How do you think do you think the production is going to stay, or you are also now in the Dwight Army of Champions, first time since 2019? What are you looking? What impact are you looking to make in this division?
Yeah, looking to make some noise. Got promoted to the big league. Looking forward to it. So you play each team from your division twice?
Correct.
And then only once. You only play the other teams in the other division once, right?
Right. So you play all 5 teams from the other division.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the stiff competition. I think it'll be fun.
Amazing. So in my preseason expectations, I said, I think I said playoff fantasy football. Is that something we can expect from your team this year?
Yeah, I think we can expect that. We're trying to build a winning culture here, so that starts with just making playoffs. So yeah, I believe you. I think we'll be in there.
Excellent. Can we get can we get some smack talk? Who's going down this year? Who's got the target on their back?
Obviously Luke. Luke's consistent. You got to beat Luke.
Yeah.
For comedic purposes, I think it's always funny when Matthew loses. It's pretty upset. So yeah, probably I like beating Luke and Matthew.
All
Luke
right.
Because he's good, and Matthew because he gets really frustrated.
Well, great. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining the podcast. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
I'm okay with that.
Same thing. What if Jonathan Taylor gets injured? And has anyone thought of that? It could happen.
Who has Jonathan Taylor? Is that
Alex? I actually that's a good point. If Jonathan Taylor gets injured, Alex's team plummets to
Well, here's the thing. He has Zeke to replace him, and then he can fill that.
Oh, great! He's got Zeke to replace him. Oh, that's
That boy Zeke.
He's got Allen Robinson, Hunter Renfrow, Garrett Wilson in the spot. Matthew, you're gonna replace him with Brandon Cooks? That's who you're gonna replace him with?
Maybe, yeah. I will say about Brandon Cooks, before there's any slander about Brandon Cooks, wide receiver @1.
Yep.
I know he's. Do I like him that much? No. Do I like Houston that much? No. But at least he's the best wide receiver on the team.
No, I think you're true. Zach, Matthew's got Rashad Penny waiting in the wings.
That's what I'm saying. No, he would be replaced with Christian McCaffrey, and then who would go in the flex spot?
Elijah Moore. Why not? Guy's a baller.
I don't know, man. I don't like anybody on the Jets or the Lions, statistically.
That's fair. I feel like at one point, though, Elijah Moore was torching fantasy defenses last year.
Let me see. He was 46. Oh, he was injured, though. Oh, he was.
Yeah.
You're right. There's a streak where he went 20, 10, and then 21, and then 5, and then 14.
Yeah, so he's good. He's a good player. He's good. He's a good lad.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at Zach's rankings right now. I didn't really like Tristan's team that much.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I wasn't too big of a fan of.
Yeah, I gotta check Johnny's too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the ranking, I said I put him at 5, but there's an opportunity for him to go much lower.
Yeah, you did say he's big boomer bust, which is kind of Tristan's. Like he does tend to do that.
Yeah, I don't. And now you got me rethinking this. Because Joe, what are the odds Joe Mixon has another stellar year like last year?
Well, I will say I think you should stick by your rankings. I mean, you can tear apart every single team any which way that you want, and make them look like a bad team, or you can totally
True.
gas a team up and be like, this could be the best team of all time. So I think you did a good job of, getting your opinion out there.
I had Josh Jacobs last year. He could have been better, but I respected the work he put in.
Who's got Josh Jacobs this year?
Tristan.
Oh, yeah, Tristan's always been a fan of Josh Jacobs. I don't know. I don't know about Josh Jacobs.
I don't like Josh Jacobs, especially this year.
Yeah.
The Raiders apparently. Well, first of all, the Raiders are going to be chucking the ball
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah.
And also they really like the running back they drafted. Not that Josh Jacobs obviously is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
the starter, but they really like this other guy apparently. But that's the thing. It's like you just read one opinion piece, and now I think Josh Jacobs is going to suck.
Yeah.
So it's
That's what I did with Saquon, man. I saw him say, you know what I'm capable of. And I was like, oh, man, Saquon is back.
If we were to get in depth about my draft, I wanted to take Saquon 3rd round. Aaron took him right after me. He was definitely who I thought was the best player at the time, but I already had 2 running backs, and I was like, if I don't take a good wide receiver here, there's gonna be a lot of trash ones.
Yeah.
So I took Mike Evans, but value-wise, all things equal, I would absolutely have rather had Saquon.
Interesting. Fascinating.
I like Mike Evans and Mike Williams.
Dude, that's what I was telling Matthew. I really like that Mike Williams pick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really regretting picking Keenan Allen. I picked Keenan Allen over Mike Williams, which
I know, that's crazy.
I mean, I just remember so Zach, I am not gonna lie, I base a lot of my picks off of what I hear Alex Walk-On say the year before.
Seriously.
Yeah, so
Oh, wow.
I picked Deebo Samuel last year specifically because the year before, so in 2020, Alex Walk-On picked Deebo Samuel and said, this guy's a stud, he's going to do great. And I remembered that. I was just like, oh, Alex says Deebo's a stud, I'm going to pick Deebo.
I can't believe that, man. That is so funny.
And he said a similar thing about Keenan Allen last year. And so I took it to heart. I'm like, I'm picking Keenan Allen this year.
Oh, man. Wow, I gotta let him know. He would go nuts over that.
He's just so good. He's just so good at fantasy. I have to trust him.
Dude, I want them to add Troy in the fantasy world, man.
I feel like eventually he's got to be added because he is. I think they would add him as a running back, maybe like a tight end. But I feel like fullbacks are available to be picked up.
No, Jason Kabinda is the fullback for the Lions, and he's available.
Is he labeled? Well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I feel like fullbacks you should be able
Oh,
to
yeah,
grab.
no, he is a running back.
But
yeah.
he's labeled as a running back, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, so Matthew, I got a couple more questions for you. First off, you're in the loser slack off like gym. I think this is your first time in that division.
Yeah.
Are you just are you winning all 8 games or what? You're feasting on those minnows, aren't you?
Yeah, here's the thing. I think, I was counting some wins from Alex, which is still TBD.
Right.
Loved having him at the draft.
Yeah.
But, I don't know how long it's going to last.
Yeah.
Aiden, honestly, didn't really like his draft. Thought he tapered off last year. I think
Yeah.
this year maybe the same thing.
Sure.
No disrespect to Aiden. I think last year he was good, and it wasn't like a guaranteed win against him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, there's a lot of really good teams. So,
Yeah.
in terms of, like, who's the easiest to get wins off of, that might be one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to call out shots from everyone that is in the division. But I think there is less competition. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of heavy hitters that are not in that. That's what I should say. A lot of really great teams that aren't in that division.
Yes.
Luke, Johnny,
Yeah.
Connor and
Yeah.
Is Connor? Yeah, that's that's.
Yeah, I mean
Those are like four of the best teams.
The DAC is stacked, and I mean we miss you. We miss you in the DAC. That's all I'll say. I miss you up there.
Yeah, me too.
But the season is.
I'm glad to be there. If anyone's asking, this is the first time I'm there. I'm hyped.
Zach's a wild card for sure, in my opinion.
I think Zach's team is good. I was looking at it and I ranked him pretty high in my.
You ranked him second.
I put him second.
What was the biggest? Sorry, what was the biggest discrepancy between your guys' rankings? Like, did you disagree a lot? I can see one and not the other right now.
We got Matt. We both had Matt spot on. Yeah, who would be our biggest? Probably Zach, because Zach ranked himself at 7th, and I put him all the way up at number 2.
Yeah. Wait, let me.
And then Tristan, I think Tristan was a pretty big discrepancy. I put Tristan at 9.
Yeah, I kind of didn't like his team. Let me see Zach's team.
Personally, I thought my team last year was a lot better than the team I have this year.
You know what? I think that's fair. I think you had a really good draft last year, but I still think a couple of these players they get me excited.
Yeah, I like Zach's team. I remember being like, wow, I should have waited to draft Kittle because Zach got Waller right in front of me the round after.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I did not think this was going to happen. Like, I remember that. I'm high on Saquon. David Montgomery was a good pick. I remember I was upset about that one, too, I think.
Yeah.
You might have went after me, and I was like, why didn't I just get David Montgomery?
Oh, I had a lot of those last night.
Yeah.
You took a lot of people I wanted.
Well, yeah, because us two were flipping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, I wanted CMC and Nick Chubb.
Sure. I mean, that's fair. I'd hope that the 6th pick wanted CMC. I'd hope.
Just a lot of respect between these managers right here. That's what I'm getting. A lot of mutual respect. A lot of.
Matthew knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Do you want me to say? Do you want me to try to diss some players?
On Zach's team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to
Yeah,
hear
I
it.
want to hear it.
Not a huge fan of Najee Harris. He's got that foot injury.
Oh.
That you shouldn't get when you're a running back. As a first-round pick.
I didn't hear about this. What is this?
Oh, he's got a Liz Frank sprain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Where is this?
It's out there.
My reasoning for drafting him is they don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be. I'm not a huge fan of any of the quarterback that's going to be starting this year. So I think they're going to run the ball a lot more.
Mm.
Which is why I picked Najee.
I mean, I like Najee. I didn't know about his Liz Frank injury.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I know these things.
But I look at Najee and I see a powerful running back. I see the next Zeke. I think he could have a similar season as prime Zeke. But now that he's injured, you got me nervous. You got me nervous for Najee. I'm like, oh
Hey,
shit.
you got me nervous, man. Jeez,
So
if
I was
my
roasting
mistake
Zach
and
for
Najee
picking
goes
Tom
down, my
Brady.
two seasons
I was
over.
What's up?
I was roasting Zach for picking Tom Brady. I was not a big fan of that one. So what do you think about Tom Brady?
It depends when it was. Let me go to the. Where is it? Draft recap.
Yeah.
I think it was the 8th round.
8th round. Yeah, Tom Brady. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers went at the top of the 9th round.
Yeah.
I think there is a big drop off. Honestly, after I drafted Kyler Murray, I think there's a big drop off in quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I agree.
I kind of, honestly, I think I might have reached for Kyler Murray just because I absolutely didn't want everyone else, every other quarterback that can make a really big difference was kind of gone, I felt.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and that was kind of part of my strategy all summer. Was I was I was picking a quarterback in round 5 or 6, no matter what the reach was. I was not gonna let Jalen Hurts go. I was not gonna let Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray go. Like they were one of those guys was gonna be on my team.
Yeah, in my opinion, and I honestly think other people share this opinion. There's Josh Allen kind of in the league of his own.
Yeah.
And then Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, and Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
They're the next tier.
Yeah.
And then there's the drop off, and you get Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Whoever else? Russell Wilson. I could have got Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that was a great quote last night when it was round 9 or something like that, and you're like, I could have taken Russell Wilson, drop him perfectly.
Honestly, it would have been probably a good move, but
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with those tier rankings. I'd have nothing. I think the quarterback with the most potential this year to be the shock of the draft is Tua. I mean, just because they've completely set up that offense to exceed and excel. So
yeah.
do I think he's going to? I don't know. I don't want to say yes, but I think the potential is there.
Whatever happened to Myles Gaskin?
You know what? That's why I was so shocked when Alex was like, Raheem Mostert was number 1 on the Miami Dolphins depth chart for running back. I was like, what about Myles Gaskin? Wasn't he a good running back?
But he's on a team right now?
He's sitting at number 3 on their depth chart. It goes Chase Edmonds, what's his face, Raheem Mostert, and then Myles Gaskin.
Yeah. Chase Edmonds might be good.
I know, and it's hilarious because Zach is in Zach's rankings. He was just like, I think Chase Edmonds was a really solid pick. And then my initial reaction is, I didn't even pick him. The computer picked him for me. I didn't even mean to make that pick in round 2. I probably, if I had found the player that I wanted to find, I probably would have not picked Chase Edmonds. And then we were talking a little bit about legacy players, and I think Mike Evans is kind of a legacy player for you. I feel like you've drafted him before, Matthew. Do you like kind of drafting players that you've had before that are just you're just your guys no matter what?
Yeah. I mean, I'll say I used to a lot. I used to be really into that. Now Not so much. I think it's lost a little bit of luster for me. Because honestly, sometimes like you want like exciting new players,
right?
Sometimes,
yeah.
And you always want like players to honestly like beat what they did last year,
right?
And a lot of times with stand-up players that like you want to draft again, that won't happen. I think
Yeah, I mean,
I've gotten burned a couple times, and now I'm kind of over it.
I agree. I agree completely. But just like I don't know if you noticed, but Matt had some legacy picks out there. Like he picked Rodgers again, which is like I feel like his third straight year. He got Leonard Fournette back on the team. He got Mark Andrews back on the team. So he was getting the band back together.
Yeah. Mark Andrews, round 3, second pick. I would have taken that all day. Every day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But then, back to your point, I kind of totally went back on picking my guys. Like I literally picked a fresh slate. I don't think I've had a single player. Like J.K. Dobbins and Elijah Mitchell, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs. I guess those are all players that, like you said, were just like new, exciting names to have on my team.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I like looking back on it. I'm not crazy happy with my draft, but at least I've got like I can have some foolish hope about the new names.
Yeah, actually, even to like go more into that, round 2, when I picked Nick Chubb, I was seriously debating whether to take Kamara again.
Yeah.
And honestly, I probably would. I'm gonna probably keep myself because I don't think he's gonna get suspended, and I think he'll do really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nick Chubb's gonna do really well too.
Yeah.
If there was like 0.000% chance that Kamara was gonna get suspended, honestly, probably would have taken him again. And I don't think he will. Like.
Yeah.
So.
Probably not.
But.
So what did he do again? He punched someone?
It was at like the Pro Bowl. It's like the worst time to do it because there's literally no other media coverage going on. Yeah,
that's funny.
He beat someone up in an elevator, I think.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that one.
We got a Ray Rice on our hands.
Yeah, it's literally like the same video as the Ray Rice.
Yeah.
Also, kind of like the Kareem Hunt video.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt. Oh, that's Zach. You got Kareem Hunt. If he gets traded, which I don't think he will be, but
I don't know. It depends where he'd go.
Yeah, that's true.
Alrighty, well, I'll wrap up the podcast part right now. I'll ask you just like, what's just some inspiring remarks. Do you have any last inspiring remarks for your team that you want your players to hear, Matthew?
I'll say that the hard work starts now. A league isn't won in the draft, but I'll say it could be lost in the draft.
All right.
I like that.
I like it. Alrighty, well, we'll sign it off there. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for joining me, and can't wait to get it going. I can't wait for the season to start. Let's go. All right, fresh from knocking boots, we got Aaron Kaplan on the podcast.
Bro, this isn't being recorded, is it? Please don't put that. What's the take?
Aaron, you ranked number 1 in my fantasy draft rankings and number 4 in Zach's fantasy draft rankings. You were very highly touted. How do you feel about your draft?
Dude, I honestly love my team. Jalen Waddle and Deontay Johnson are the two that I'm like iffy on, but they're both like borderline wide receiver twos, so like I'm happy.
I think I love the Deontay Johnson pick. I mean, yeah, Mitch Trubisky's a bit of a question mark, but
Dude, you
he's in a
fell
much better
so
situation
far.
now. So
I know. You felt like
you're cutting out. You're cutting out right now.
on 8. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm
Oh, it happened again.
Ah, he's cutting in and out. All right, vamp. We vamp for us. Someone vamp. If I can sing a song.
Just cut around this.
We'll cut around it. Well, hold on. This song goes out to Aaron, and it's by a little group called The Lonely Island. I just had sex, and it felt so good. Okay, wait, he's back. Aaron, we lost you there for a second. Can you hear us?
all right, I'm heard that.
Your phone's dead. Is that what you said?
He's in a parking deck.
No, I was losing service.
Oh.
I'm out now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go about my team. I heard I got highly touted.
Yeah, so you're highly touted. We love your draft. Deontay Johnson, you know, he's coming into a good program. He's got Mike Tomlin as his coach now, and a lot of support around him.
Yeah. So as I was saying when I was in the parking deck, like oh man.
Oh, just when we thought we were gonna get the content, he pranks us again.
I'm gonna hop off, guys.
Okay, sounds good. Good night, Matthew. Good talking to you.
Yeah. You too. Bye.
Thanks. See you. Bye.
All right, Aaron, one more time. Let's try
Wait,
it.
what happened?
You cut
One
out.
more time. Yeah, one more time.
Oh fuck. Okay, I'm on the road, but I should be fine. So quick run through. Josh Allen, stud. Running backs, both studs. Eckler and who else?
Javonte.
Javonte, studs. CeeDee Lamb, baller. Like has to go off. He's their only option, and the Cowboys throw all the time. Jalen Waddle and Deontay Johnson are both solid wide receiver twos, and I can interchange them if anyone gets injured. Flex is I still have A.J. Dillon, who's about to go off my bench, as well as like Ramondre Stevenson and even Michael Thomas. If he goes off, he could be a wide receiver that's like 1 or 2. Stud. Tight end, I have Dawson Knox, who's catching passes from my quarterback, Josh Allen. So that's going to be like a team up there. Double points. And then, yeah, my bench is deep. So my team is dope. I'm happy with it.
I don't think I could have said it better myself. I was literally going through it, just listing the names, doing the exact same thing as you. Just Josh Allen, dog. Javonte Williams, dog. Not every player on your team is a dog. I love your team. I'm jealous, but I do have to say I've got a little beef. In our talks leading up to the draft, you said you wouldn't draft Josh Allen like a million times, and then you went out and drafted Josh Allen. What was the change of heart?
I did like at least 10 mock drafts, and I never once took Josh Allen. I didn't want him at all, but like I looked at who was on the board, and it was like, would I rather have the best QB or like a DK Metcalf or a Terry McLaurin?
Yeah.
And it's like there's no choice there.
And I mean, it was a brilliant pick. Like, I completely applaud your efforts. Like, I think you just had such a great draft. And it's such a change from last year.
You guys took like Herbert and Mahomes and whoever next, like the next round. So like I didn't even draft him that high. Like it's one round up.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. Like, it literally like it fell all into place for you. It fell so perfectly. So, I mean, obviously, I wish you the best in the Lose to Slackoffs like Jim. Thankful I won't have to face you. I'll just have to play you one time. And just, yeah, wish you all the best. And I can't wait to have you on the podcast more this season.
Yeah, no, I would have been on it, but I was busy.
Yeah. All right, we love it. We love it. But yeah, it's getting late. So we're gonna wrap it up there. Thanks for joining us, Aaron. Big final thank you to all the listeners this week, and can't wait to get the season started.